Alright, good morning guys. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry if I'm a little quiet. I just woke up probably 20 minutes ago. Only one cup of coffee. But let me show you why I decided to name my channel the STRT6 Ranger, or the short, let's just call it Straight 6 Ranger. Now what we have is my 1984 Ford Ranger XL. Used to come with a little V6 in it. Now it's gone through a couple motors. It's got one more in it right now that I figured, hey, let's just go ahead and do it. It's pretty cheap to get it. As you can see on the inside here, it's kind of gutted. Here, let's on the inside here, it's kind of gutted. It is pretty stripped out. Door cards, they're somewhere in the garage, but I got some boom mat and blah blah blah. It originally had the vinyl floor, which, as you can see, leaks a little bit of water, traps a little bit. You can actually see the road through that hole right there. You can actually see my that's my shift lever for the transmission, so that's going to get replaced at some point. Vinyl seat's actually in good shape. Got a bunch of crap back here. Couple gauges, basically just need the tack. I got oil, fuel, water, actually oil, water, and ammeter, which is not hooked up. The ammeter's not. AFR gauge, fuel that might be hooked up at some point, and then a boost vacuum gauge. It's only on vacuum right now. That might change here in the future, and then everything run off the rocker switches here. Cheap old B&M shifter, blah blah blah. The body of this guy is actually really straight. Some Les Schwab wheels and tires, Mastercraft with Visions 17x8s. Fuel cell in the back with some adult beverages, rope and crap like that. Super ghetto. Used to have a tonneau cover, but that thing molded, turned to crap. Super hard to snap back into place when it's winter time. Battery box not hooked up, but it will be for race season this year. I just got to run a disconnect in the back and then just redo all the wiring and everything. But here is why it's called the Straight 6 Ranger, because it's got a big ass straight 6 in it. So this is a Ford 300. I think it's like a early 70, mid 70s model. One of these block casting with a late model head on it. So this is from fuel injected Ford 300s that you get out of a what would you get those out of? F-150s, stuff like that. The whole point is it's a high compression head for obviously the late model fuel injection one. So it has on this motor roughly 9 1/4 to 1 compression. It's got the heart-shaped chamber in it, and it also has screw-in style rocker arms for it. Now the original ones that I put on it to make the truck run weren't the greatest because I didn't have everything. So right now it's currently a valve cover just loosely on there. There's nothing on the inside. Maybe if I can get this out I can show you real quick. There's no, you can't see. Well, you can kind of see the top of a rocker stud boss right there. But I found some screw-in rocker studs that Crane makes. Then I'm going to get some Comp Magnum roller tip rockers to throw on it to give it a little bit more reliability. They're going to be guided or self-aligning rocker arms, so I don't have to worry about guide plates, because it's really hard to find hardened push rods for this thing. But as you can see, it's got the Offenhauser intake on it. This is the open port one, so it's just a straight open plenum in it. You can kind of see up here, it's got a quick fuel brawler 650 double pumper, which I just recently put on. Wideband O2, so I could tune it a little bit better. The exhaust and everything I had to custom make. So you can see it drops down here on the bottom, in between here. Goes straight out, dumps to the side right there. Stock muffler, you can get it any auto parts store. It's actually really nice. Pretty quiet too, but I'm going to change that here in the future. It does have a cam in it. Crane makes this cam. It's a it was like 212, 218 at 50 lift or 50 duration, and then ow, hit my head. Let's see, 483 and like 502 lift or something like that. It's actually pretty mild. It idles pretty damn smooth. Motor mounts, those are stock F-150 mounts, but the plates I had to make and weld onto original cross member there so I can make it fit. It just barely clears that I-beam. If I pull the motor, I'm probably gonna have to massage the pan a little bit to make it fit. Cooling system had to custom make. This is all exhaust piping, vibrant coolant hoses. It works pretty well ish. Had to double clamp some areas, but it does work. It does not leak. It holds coolant. Excel coil, stock ignition box for an old F-150. Stock distributor for now. It's going to get HEI eventually. Stock power steering pump. This the radiator's out in F-150 or F-250 from like Dent Side series, 73 to 79, somewhere around there. Everything else works pretty well. It's got TCI Street Fighter C4 trans in it. I had that for quite a while. This truck used to have a built small block 302 in it, just 30 over, Edelbrock top end, comp cam, the XE268, something like that, very mild cam. But I had running issues with that. Decided to sell the motor to a friend who put it in a race car, or vintage style race car, almost a gasser. And then he sold that and blah blah blah. That motor's gone, don't know where it's at. So truck sat for a little while. I started watching this guy on YouTube. You can check him out. Channel name is DeBoss Garage. This nice Canadian fella who really likes maple syrup. He likes to put a bunch of weird motors in weird vehicles, like his, I think it's a quad turbo Audi he's got with an LS motor. He's put a 4BT in a Tahoe and a Silverado. So that's kind of where I got this idea. So I started searching around for something a little bit different. Found this motor up in Marysville, Washington, and it was about 400 bucks. It's basically complete short block. Actually, it was a complete long block. Had the intake, the heads, everything on it. Went up there, 2-hour drive. For me, picked it up for 300 bucks, and then just started going from there. Runs good for the most part. It does have blow by, so if I actually disconnect the PCV and everything, then it does smoke a little bit out the breathers, and then a little bit out the tailpipe. But she's going to get rebuilt in the future. High compression. You can get Ford 390 heads or 390 pistons for these guys. Theoretically, it should be right around 11.1, 11.2 to 1 compression, because it's flat top pistons, 68 cc chambers. It's like a 3.9 inch stroke, 4-inch bore. So it's torquey little bitch, especially for how light this truck is. Imagine this little thing probably weighs 3,000, 3,100 at best with me in it. This thing's pretty quick, and it's only gonna get quicker. So my whole point of this is to get the truck down into the 12s for for just a show and go racing this year, grudge racing, stuff like that. I'm trying to ignore this little get up right here. I just got it out of the way so I can get the valve cover off and everything, because it actually drapes over the top right here and goes into the side. That's going to be all redone when I do the high compression motor. It'll be all Holley fuel pump, dash 8 line all the way to the back, but I can't decide if I'm going to run E85 or not, because there used to be a couple pumps nearby, one down like 30 miles south of me. That one got switched out for what was it? Neighbor lady staring at me. It got switched out for ethanol free premium, and then there was one down in Longview, which is like an hour and a half away from me, that I was going to go buy it in bulk. That got basically taken out like 2 weeks ago, so it's hard to get ethanol up here in the Northwest. So started making my own race gas, so maybe that'll work. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But let me show you a few glamour shots of it, get a better idea what this truck actually is. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna go get some more coffee because I'm really tired right now, and I gotta go to work in an hour. So thank you, guys.